Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gills, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure?
It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee? I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it. Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the morning grind. It is so good to see you this morning. We are going to be looking at more Book of Vile Darkness today, so hopefully we will have just as great a conversation as we have had with many others. This is part 5 already, so this is this book has generated a lot of conversation, and I think that's fantastic. So I think we stopped at prestige classes, so we're going to pick up on prestige classes here in just a moment. Seth Chapman says, "More Vile Darkness, please." Good morning, all. Yes, we do love some good Vile Darkness here in the morning. JDM is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Stray is here. Zero the Blade is as well. Millmaster asks, "Is this the right basement?" Yes, you have reached the right basement. Tomocrat is here. Good morning, all. It is so good to see everyone. Let's see. I have still like trying to figure out how to get myself back into good habits. When you get out of them, they're hard to get back into. It seems like this. Tonight, we're going to be doing another Crafter's Corner because I am still trying to figure out how to get all of these elf miniatures painted. And one of the things that I've been doing now is kind of just charging at one particular project rather than trying to do the, mix it up quite as much like we were doing like in the past couple of months. So I'm not sure who we're going to be talking to tonight. Cameron, I was going through person by person, table talk by table talk. So it might be RM from Positive Fandom. So Cameron's coming up. I know that might be Sunday. Maybe tonight and Sunday I can finish up these miniatures. I need to post some of the miniatures to the Discord server that I finished last night, so I will do that. Good morning, James. Good morning. Good morning. I'm also trying to figure out how we actually get back to some type of accountability, because I know people were talking about that or have been talking about that in the Discord server about how we keep ourselves accountable to one another, because that was supposed to be part of this. And I will post, when I'm up and heeding the call to adventure or other things in productivity. But I'm wondering how we can also work with the channel members on that, because there might be some way, because we were doing the wind down, and of course we still can, but the wind down is also a big production. And so I'm wondering if their Discord, there is some way that we can do like check-ins with each other that will be beneficial and helpful and help us hold everybody accountable to the productivity level they are trying to do, but something less than an entire live stream. So we will see. I'm thinking about that. JDM says, good habits can be hard to maintain. I'm in grad school and it's a grind, LOL. I feel you. I understand. I think you mentioned your PhD. So, yep, I understand. I completely understand that. And I was also nowhere near as productive during my PhD as I could have been. I would do that very differently now. But, okay, so let's go over here to the morning messages. Then we will sip and drink. And then, well, hey, it doesn't have to be, if you're in grad school, it doesn't have to be geek-related productivity. It can certainly be school-related productivity and stuff like that. So, also, well, if I take like a sleeping pill in the evening, I think that's one of the I don't get up as early if that happens. If I take some type of sleep tablet or something, turns out I don't get up as early the next day. So I either need to take one of those earlier or get back to the point where I wasn't taking them. All right, let's go to the morning messages. The Morning Grind is brought to you by World Anvil. For all the writers out there, World Anvil has all the tools to help you write, organize, present, and publish rich settings with complex characters. Write, world build, and manage your story all in a single platform. Use the code MORNINGGRIND to get 40% off yearly subscriptions. The Morning Grind is also brought to you by the cool name RPG. Anyone will be able to use the system for any project they can imagine, and they can do so irrevocably, perpetually, and without paying a dime to anyone, ever. Support its development now on Kickstarter. And thank you for being here with me live on The Morning Grind. And if you're watching on replay, welcome to you as well. It's great to have you here. If you're enjoying The Morning Grind, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It will really help the channel grow, and I would be very thankful. We also have the Ravenkeep Discord server you can join if you would like to be a part of the community. All right, that's what you need to know. Let's get to the main topic. All right, so there we go. Hey, if you are thinking about using World Anvil, do remember to use the code Morning Grind and get in on it. I know I've had several people say that they were learning how to use World Anvil. And so if you are, I lost my train of thought. My train of thought was, I know that there were several people on here who are interested in learning how to use World Anvil and were thinking about using it for their own projects. And don't forget that if you do want to sign up for it, do use that Morning Grind code, the Morning Grind code for World Anvil when you do that. They said they would help sponsor the show. It's a little bit of money, but they said they would help sponsor the show for 3 months. So this is month 3. This will be March right here. And so I guess they will be looking at if anybody actually signed up or if the Morning Grind was something that was useful to them. So they'll probably be evaluating that this month. So if you've been thinking about getting in on World Anvil and you think you might be using it, do consider signing up sometime this month so that it kind of shows up in their statistics. And maybe they will continue the Wednesday sponsorship of World Building Wednesdays, and do get 40% off. I mean, that's pretty huge. So do that. Also, I was looking over at Cool Name RPG. I saw that Mark had posted another design blog, and I'm very interested in watching because I think that his design blogs on RPGs are very interesting. If you're interested in RPG design, like I know a lot of people around here are, Mechanical Muse YouTube videos. The YouTube's channel, the Mechanical Muse, is where that's hosted. And I was just seeing that he's up to 271 backers and $15,705 raised. And so that is fantastic. Okay. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat, Millmaster. Millmaster, for a $5 super chat, says, it's not because things are difficult that we dare not venture. It's because we dare not venture that they are difficult. I like that. I like that. Hey, and it kind of goes along with that. One of my favorites is a task begun feels half done. Now the problem with that is if you have like 20 or 30 half done or begun projects that aren't done, which is my problem at the moment. But hey, once you start doing something, particularly if you're procrastinating or something like that, and you actually start doing it, well, it feels very possible once it's actually started. All right, let me pull up the Vile Darkness book here. All right. So we had gotten to prestige classes last time. So I don't know how much, if there will be as much to say about prestige classes, but we will see here. The classes and prestige classes, I remember, were things that didn't get a whole lot of use at my table. Hey, good morning, Retro Nerd Girl. And BGD. And Vision. Everybody's here. Good morning. Good morning. Quite a crew this morning. Excellent. So glad to have everybody here. I remember that prestige classes and character classes didn't get a whole lot of play at my table, just because even though, you know, we made several characters, I don't remember. It seemed like this was back in the day when everything had a whole bunch of, you know, character crunch and player crunch was a big part of the books. And so new classes and new prestige classes was something that every book always advertised. But I never thought that was quite as useful, because it's not like I made hundreds of characters. I was already playing the one that I was playing. And I don't remember. I guess we used some of the prestige classes, but we probably used most of the ones that were in the core book. Core books. It just seems like there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity. People loved them. And so I guess that's why everyone always advertised, especially third-party books, that, hey, they're more prestige classes and things like that. Regular classes and prestige classes, I just didn't ever find that they actually got used all that much. Okay, so, but here we do have prestige classes. So these would be evil prestige classes. I almost don't want to read this one already. So Cancer Mage is one of them. Scurrying about in sewers, back alleys, and abandoned buildings, the Cancer Mage feeds upon the corpses of society. The Cancer Mage hides in the darkness where no one wants to look, digging through trash forgotten. Cancer Mages are some of the most disgusting individuals a character is ever likely to meet, for they revel in filth, disease, and decay. They usually have their own foul goals, sometimes venerating deities or disease or corruption, sometimes spreading disease for their own stake. Okay, that's probably enough. Okay, so we do have a note down here on using. The Last Phoenix says, funny, I actually disliked prestige classes. They shoehorned the character into a very specific role. They did. I can see that, understand that. My issue, it seemed like I played a lot of characters that were just single class, and like have historically a lot. I mean, there were so many different ways to create a variety of different things, right? You've got, first of all, multi-classing. So that was pretty common, of course, that, hey, who played a straight whatever class? Well, I did, but a lot of people multi-classed into different things. And then, so that was one way that you were, or a lot of people did not play just straight, hey, I'm going to go from level 0 to level 20 in fighter or cleric or something like that. But then you also had the prestige classes, and I forget all of the different. So here's the requirements to take a prestige class. Or you can take these prestige classes. One of the things that I thought was important is that there needed to be some really beneficial reason as to why you would want to just be a 20th level fighter. Now, I also didn't often get all the way to 20th level. I know I've never played a 20th level character. But there needed to be a reason why you would want to be nothing but a single class. And I think that was lost because it seemed like most people would play some type of multi-class character and then perhaps some of the prestige classes. Although, like I said, all the ones in the there were too many of them, I thought. Millmaster says that sounds like my level 1 warlock. Let's see. Seth Chapman says most classes have a specific role unless you're playing a skill-based RPG. Yeah, and so you don't want to lose. I mean, you should want to lose something. There should be something that you're giving up, something major that you're giving up if you're not going to be a pure one-class character. So using prestige classes, though, this gives some notes on using prestige classes. Each of the prestige classes presented in this chapter is a non-player character waiting to plague player characters. Okay, so maybe one way to make more use of the prestige classes is to make them non-player characters. Each is a villain itching to be given a scheme, a plot, or a sinister goal. Although Chapter 1 has much to say about creating villains and offer a number of examples, you can treat each of these prestige classes as a villainous plot generator. The Warrior of Darkness, for instance, or for example, might be an evil martial organization in your campaign led by a fallen paladin who seeks the destruction of his old church. Maybe the Disciple of Gratz in your campaign is a cultist who plans to use charm spells and the disguise skill to kidnap 6 children, one of each of his Dark Lord's fingers. At the next new moon, the children will all be sacrificed. Okay, so maybe these are supposed to be NPCs. Okay, Demonologist. This one could be cool. A demonologist is a mortal who has devoted his life to the study of demons. He is practiced in dealing with them, fighting them, and using them for his own gain. He even gains some demon abilities due to his studies and devotion to the fiends of the abyss. Demonologists are always evil, though they might not think of them as such. No character can get close to the mind of utter corruption and come away unchanged. Most demonologists were once wizards or sorcerers, though bards who delve into the evil lore also frequently meet the requirements of the class. Demonologists see themselves as researchers and keepers of lore that most people cannot handle. Thus, they often sequester themselves away in libraries of dark knowledge. They attempt to deal with demons on equal footing, an extremely dangerous undertaking, and rarely interact with mortals. When demonologists see the need, they emerge from their studies and use dark powers to take what they want when they return to their books and summoning circles. PCs might come into conflict with the demonologist who is after some rare bit of lore or magic item they possess. Or the characters might need the help of a demonologist if they are planning to fight demons and need aid or information. So the demonologist here are the requirements, what you have to have in order to start taking the prestige class. It says requirements. In order to qualify to become a demonologist, a character must fulfill all the following criteria: chaotic evil, knowledge arcana 4 ranks, knowledge of the planes 8 ranks, feats evil brand, sacrificial mastery, and malign spell focus. Those, I believe, are feats that we discussed previously on the last time in the last chapter. Special, must be able to cast at least 6 arcane spells of the conjuration school, one of which must be at least 3rd level. So that was how it's gating these prestige classes. Once you got to some type of requirement, then you could start taking these. Slight Quill says that's back when the core classes weren't that great and there was no point in getting to level 20 in any of them without over multi-classing. Right. Yeah, I agree. So that was a weak point, that we needed to have much stronger core classes to have a reason to be just a pure cleric, or any of the core classes. Diabolist. The Diabolist is one who is thrown in her lot with the forces of hell. Unlike the disciples of Asmodeus or other archdevils, the Diabolist is not a servant of a specific powerful fiend, but instead is usually a mortal being who has seen the dark path as a means to gaining power. She does not serve devils, she wants to be one. Diabolists are usually wizards, but sorcerers, clerics, and sometimes bards seek such devilry. Diabolists usually develop a particular hatred for paladins and blatant contempt for non-spellcasters. Diabolists are often loners, but they occasionally work in sinister cabals. They usually seek political power as well as magical power. Diabolists often use their dire power to intimidate and destroy their enemies because of their diabolism power. They're particularly skilled at dealing with good foes, and they focus their power on good aligned characters when possible. It's common for a diabolist to have devils working with her, but just as likely to find her with legions of undead, well-paid mercenaries or fanatical cultists. So in order to become a diabolist, you have to be lawful evil, have a will +5, save, bluff in 3 ranks, intimidate 3 ranks, knowledge the planes 8 ranks, feats evil brand, corrupt spell, must be able to cast shriveling. Special, the character must offer her soul, but not necessarily her loyalty to the forces of hell in exchange for power. The diabolist agrees permanently. When the diabolist dies permanently, her soul becomes in the possession of a powerful devil. The devil uses its soul as it sees fit. And it's got all of its powers over here. I think I missed some conversation points here. I'm not sure what that is referring to. Okay, greetings, George. Good morning. So then we do have Disciple of Asmodeus. Merciless Lord of the Ninth Hell, keeper of all things forbidden and unknown, master of all you encounter, Asmodeus, I call on your dread name. The disciple of Asmodeus is a lordly, domineering sort who craves unlimited power. He is ruthless in his pursuits and uncaring of any who might get in his way. He uses his power and influence to learn secrets, which in turn gain him more power, manipulate and command others, and enhance his own physical aspect. Spellcasters, divine and arcane, often make the best disciples of Asmodeus. Disciples of Asmodeus are a large part of society, but secretive organization that crisscrosses across most of civilized society. Their hierarchy is rigid, with power-hungry members continually moving up and down the ranks. The disciples of Asmodeus seek nothing less than world dominion. As such, their dread masters often reward them with the service of some minor devils or undead. Disciple of Beelzebul. Lord of the flies, Lord of the lies, Beelzebul, with your sly skin, your dark power, you are the master of my soul. The disciple of Beelzebul is a liar, a cheat, and a thief. He is more likely to kill a paladin while he sleeps than face him in direct combat. She uses deceit and trickery to get what she wants, betraying even her family or closest friends to achieve her goals. Her abilities make her an astute prevaricator and sneaky backstabber, but she can wield her lord's power and influence with everything from devils to flies if she needs to. Rogues, assassins, bards, and sometimes rangers become disciples of Beelzebul. Any evil alignment? I guess the evil alignment is one of the things that makes most of these NPC prestige classes anyway, since that won't be most player characters. So I guess they didn't do like vile dark hunters and things like that. Good morning, Zero Theory. Good to see you. Disciple of Dispater. Locked in an iron fortress with an iron city in the festering iron pit of Dis, Lord Dispater is master of all he surveys. The disciple of Dispater is a warlike general of evil. He's defensive-minded and eager to have others fight for him. When he must fight, he does so on terms of his own chosen battleground. Disciples of Dispater verge on paranoia and thus are just distrustful of everyone. They have mystical power over iron that allows them to grant themselves even greater abilities in battle. Fighters, rangers, and rogues become disciples of Dispater, and clerics affiliated with the Archdevil also adopt this class. They are mighty soldiers dealing terrible damage with the iron swords and axes. Disciples of Dispater have few allies, though they frequently employ mercenaries and other underlings. All disciples of Dispater have a large have some sort of headquarters that they make as defensible as they can. High-level disciples of the Archdevil command great fortresses of their own armies. So what is going on? What is going on with that iron stuff? Iron hues, once per day, per point of Constitution bonus. A second-level disciple of Dispatter may gain a +3 divine bonus on attacks, on damage on attacks made this round. Disciple of Mammon. Almighty Mammon, Lord of lust and King of covetous, I call upon your great might to get what I want. I prostrate myself before you and your relentless power. Bring me my heart's desire. Yeah, Slight Will says, mainly I use these prestige classes for making big bad evil guys than anything else. Some may have used them to run an all-evil party campaign, but I never got on that bus. We only did an evil campaign once. I've only played in one evil campaign, and I think it was just a one-shot. I don't think we played beyond that. But it really wasn't even an evil campaign. It was more of a comedy. We weren't so much, I mean, we were evil, but more like moronic and stupid, and it was more like a comedy campaign than anything else, or comedy game. Well, like George says, players might think they can play evil characters, but really they don't do it right. We didn't even try. We just were more comedic than anything else. It's not as easy as just being murder hobos. Millmaster says, my players like to retire high-level characters into prestige classes. Wow. So a disciple of Mammon, the disciple of Mammon takes what she wants any way she can. She's quick to betray her friends and allies to get ahead, and she will put herself in an embarrassing or awkward position if it ultimately leads to what she wants. The disciple of Mammon has no honor, no shame, no scruples. Her abilities help her not only lie, cheat, and steal, but also to avoid danger and expense of others, at the expense of others. Evil rogues and bards sometimes become disciples of Mammon, particularly those who are more interested in stealing than killing. Disciples of Mammon generally operate alone. Though they might join a guild or operate with allies, disciples of Mammon betray their companions so quickly that they soon develop a poor reputation. For this reason, among others, Mammon's disciples are often on the move, one step ahead of those they have betrayed, cheated, or robbed. Goblinoid creatures are sometimes drawn to the service of Mammon, as is the occasional evil dragon, usually one that deals with the outside world, not remains in its lair sort of dragon. Disciple of Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles. There's no C in that. Mephistopheles, Lord of Hellfire and Duke of Brimstone, I call upon you in your fiery elegance. I pledge myself to you, rightful King of Hell. One day your dark power will reign supreme. The disciple of Mephistopheles wields hellfire as his weapon, striking down all who oppose him. He focuses on all things fire-related as it fitting with the preoccupation of the archdevil he serves. Clerics, wizards, and sorcerers are the most frequently converts to Mephistopheles, although certainly, virtually any class can learn to wield the deadly power of hellfire. I don't understand what's going on with this. Oh, I guess his arm is on fire. It's got a skeletal arm that's on fire. I guess that's what's going on. He's holding some kind of sword. Disciples of Mephistopheles are equally comfortable alone or at gatherings, covens of evil schemers, and destructive megalomaniacs. Although the company of devils is pleasant, disciples of Mephistopheles just as frequently find themselves among hellhounds, salamanders, and other evil fire creatures. Fire giants often attempt to become disciples of Mephistopheles. To qualify, you've got to have a base attack bonus of +6, be any evil, have Disciple of Darkness feat, and evil brand. Special, the sect of Mephistopheles welcomes new disciples with a terrible ritual that involves the sacrifice of an intelligent being in magical fire. Okay. Zero Theory says, I tried an evil campaign. It went okay. It was hard to motivate with things other than greed, so had to dangle treasures. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, George says. Yeah, exactly. That was what we were doing. Like, pretty much deliberately. Probably more like moronic evil is what we were doing. The Last Phoenix says, the way of the wicked is a really good evil adventure path, but players should be comfortable with portraying cruel and loathsome creatures. Zero the Blade says, an all evil campaign take heart to be cruel. An all evil campaign take heart to be cruel and unfair while forcing rules on the weak. It can be hard if you can't do that. And yeah, lots of us aren't. I would probably agree with that too, Seth. Life Drinker. Amid the ranks of the undead, the vampires are some of the most feared creatures that stalk the night. Yet even those cursed with vampirism have those they respect and fear. One such secretive group has many names, but most often they are called the Life Drinkers. Life Drinkers are vampires who have been undead for a very long time, honing their abilities to the fullest. They focus on their inherent ability to feed upon the living. Vampire wizards, sorcerers, and clerics make the best life drinkers, for the ability of the Life Drinker is to turn life energy and blood stolen from another into magical power. Like most vampires, Life Drinkers are likely to have a host of charmed guardians, vampire spawn, and other servants. They often keep a small number of living beings to feed upon, referring to their captives as their cattle. So what are these guys doing differently than standard vampires? You have to be any evil, you've got to have knowledge arcana 6 ranks, spellcraft 6 ranks, and you must be a vampire. Life Well is one of their special abilities here. A Life Drinker stores the life energy that it steals in a reservoir within itself called a Life Well. From this Life Well, the drinker draws the power needed to use their abilities. A Life Drinker gains Life Well points by bestowing negative levels by dealing Constitution Drain. Each negative level. Oh, remember negative levels? Do we have that in 5th edition anymore? We might not. Maybe negative levels was something that, and losing your character levels was something that is no longer there. So each negative level bestowed by the vampire's energy drain ability gains 2 Life Well points. Each point of Constitution Drain gains 1. The Life Well of the Life Drinker can hold a maximum of 3 points per Life Drinker level. Life Well points gained when the Life Well are already full are wasted. So what do you do with these things? A Life Drinker with 0 Life Well points must succeed a will saving throw or go temporarily insane, attacking any living creature within sight until the Life Well has it. At least 1 point per Life Drinker level. A successful saving throw means the Life Drinker did not make the saving throw against this temporary sanity until means the Life Drinker did not need to make a saving throw against this temporary sanity until 1 week has passed. Oh, so his other powers involve that well. So like Invigorate, a Life Drinker can spend 1 Life Well point to gain 1d6 temporary hit points. A Life Drinker of 2nd level or higher cast spells, he may spend 4 Life Well points to empower a spell as if using the empower spell feat. Okay. Greater Blood Drain. At 7th level, Life Drinker's Blood Drain ability now deals d6 points of Constitution damage. Mortal Hunter. Yeah, that's what that seems like that would be that would be penalizing the players too much. Seems like for 5th edition. No one wants to go backwards in level. Makes that 1 card from the deck of many things that loses you XP kind of pointless. The Last Phoenix says modern players are too soft for negative levels. The Mortal Hunter. Though fiends prize the souls of mortals tempted to evil, sometimes a mortal must simply be slain. Such a mortal, often an obstacle to powerful fiends' schemes, finds herself a target of a mortal hunter. Mortal hunters are fiends that specialize in killing mortals. For the purpose of this prestige class, mortal is a term meaning any creature not of the outsider, undead, construct, or fey types. To practice these hunting skills, fiends capture mortals and drag them into their infernal realms, where they are freed, then tracked and killed. A mortal hunter is not only good at tracking and killing mortals, but it learns to use mortal skins to form disguises so it can infiltrate mortal societies and trick individuals, drawing them into traps. If a mortal hunter has a character class, it's often ranger or fighter. Mortal hunters usually work alone, but sometimes they have lesser fiends to use as shock troops or to help spring ambushes and traps. They occasionally use hounds, howlers, displacer beasts, hellhounds, or similar creatures in their hunts. Soul Eater. Bane of all living creatures, the Soul Eater is a monstrous being that feeds off the very essence of life force. Twisted and evil, even by the standards of creatures such as beholders, lamias, and mind flayers, the Soul Eater is feared by all creatures that live. Soul Eaters are often confused with vampires or other undead, but they are decidedly alive, making their actions all the more heinous. Evil creatures such as the aforementioned beholders, lamias, and mind flayers become Soul Eaters, as do Dreschakens, Yuan-Ti, trolls, harpies, and medusas. The occasional giant or dragon finds the path of the Soul Eater too tempting to resist. It's even possible for good-aligned creatures such as lamasus and unicorns to turn evil and become Soul Eaters. Soul Eaters always work alone, though they may have enthralled or enslaved servants. I don't really understand that picture. So, hey, good morning, Silver Phoenix Rising. Good to see you. JDM says, I've taken a level from a character in a 5e game. She was a good sport, and it made for a good adventure to help the PC cure the curse. But it was definitely unexpected and jarring for the players. Colonel Kronk says, remember when you needed to spend XP to create magic items? Do you think we'll see that mechanic again? I do remember when you had to spend XP to create magic items. And in fact, this book has talked about several different things that you can do that are vile and evil to help take XP or supply XP in a different way to your magic spells and also your magic item creation. I don't know if we will get that back or not. I don't know if it's something that will come back. I wouldn't imagine that it would come back in the revision of 5th edition. I don't know if it'll show up in something like I don't remember seeing that in the advanced 5th edition that we went over. And I doubt it would show up again in Black Flag by Kobold Press. Thrall of Demogorgon. The dual-lived, dual-willed Prince of the Abyss, Master of the Mysterious and King of Deviants, Demogorgon, you are my lord. The Thrall of Demogorgon is a perversion of his race and a madman. He seeks out the morbid and the bizarre, and he thrives on the chaotic nature of mutation and deformity. In service of his terrible master, he attempts to spread madness and conflict. He works to topple that which provides order and pervert that which is true. Multi-class characters make the best thralls of Demogorgon because he appreciates their versatility. A thrall of Demogorgon usually works alone, and his greatest enemies are often other thralls of Demogorgon, though he hates all other demon princes' thralls as well. His enemies include good-aligned monsters and creatures. Actually, thralls of Demogorgon despise everyone. Thrall of Gratz. The Dark Man, the Shadow King, the ebony-skinned master of all things that revel in the night, O Master Grot, spare me your wrath and grant me your favor. We have lots of art. Yes, we do have lots of Phoenixes here. George says just one opinion, but 5e nerfed a lot of stuff. But yes, we've got the Phoenix gang here. I was just talking about that yesterday some more. I like the 5e idea of magic spell dust. The 4e idea. I don't know anything about 4e. A formation of phoenixes is in the chat. I like that. A formation of phoenixes flying through the chat. The Thrall of Gratz is a sinister, conniving, and thoroughly evil master of arcane lore and dark secrets. She uses her charm and guile to learn things that she should never know, a sort of seductive lore master who depends on subterfuge, not study. A lore master spends her days in a library learning secrets, but a Thrall of Gratz steals, seduces, or tricks them from others. Wizards, sorcerers, clerics, and bards make excellent Thralls of Gratz, though sorcerers are clearly the best of them all. Gratz is a dark man that some sorcerers learn their initial spells from without even knowing it. Thralls of Gratz often work in cabals. These sinister, secretive organizations sometimes work alongside rogues or assassins to manage the criminal underworld of an entire community or even entire kingdom. The lust for power of a Thrall of Gratz knows no bounds. Lots of prestige classes. Anyway, let's keep going. Thrall of Jubilex. All hail the dark, whispered master, patron of pestilence, and father of slime, Jubilex the Unspeakable. The Thrall of Jubilex is as disgusting an individual as one may ever encounter, oozing a horrible slime and surrounded by a nauseating stench. These thralls have no place in normal society, though the more powerful ones can disguise their form to slip among civilized people. Fighters and barbarians sometimes become thralls of Jubilex, and clerics who favor the demon prince also take the prestige class. A thrall of Jubilex usually operates alone, for no one can stand to be near it except for the undead, oozes, and possibly cancer mages. A thrall of Orcus. Bloated goat prince of undeath, master of vampires and lord of specters, Orcus, grant me your crushing might and deadly power of your skull-headed wand. The Thrall of Orcus has devoted himself to the demon prince of undeath. In his service, she has become a tool of misery, murder, and revenge. She revels in the company of the undead, preferring their decaying touch to that of living flesh. Clerics, wizards, and sorcerers make the best thralls of Orcus, though bards, blackguards, and various multi-class characters can also join his demonic ranks occasionally. Thralls of Orcus often work in small groups. Those cabals of necromancers and necrophiliacs consort with undead creatures and demons to form small cells of depraved evil hidden among bustling cities and quiet villages. Thralls of Orcus hate the war against the thralls of Demogorgon and Gratz. So where did we find Blackguard? Was Blackguard? We looked at Unearthed Arcana before and didn't find what we were looking for. But was Blackguard in here, or is Blackguard someplace else? No. Is it? Could it be? Could it actually be in like the 3rd edition DMG or something like that? Sable Phoenix says, in my last campaign, I actually played a lawful evil sorceress who was a fiend warlock and had with Gratz as her patron. Oh, interesting. She was totally fine at playing nice with others, but was a terrible person. Silver Phoenix Rising says, I've looked through the 5e core, I bet that's core books. Haven't had a chance to play a campaign with friends. This sort of thing would work well in a campaign that has madness rules. That's the 3rd edition DMG. Okay, let me look over there, because is that the one where they talk about anti-paladins? It seems like we should be able to come up with that. Because I remember 3rd edition talked about that, because we were talking about evil paladins before. And I remember there was a passage. Yep, 181. Thank you. So the Blackguard, it says, this is in the 3rd edition PHB, or 3rd edition DMG. Blackguard. The Blackguard epitomizes evil. He's nothing short of a moral fiend. The quintessential Black Knight, this villain carries a reputation of the foulest sort that is very well deserved. Consorting with demons and devils and serving dark entities, the Blackguard is hated and feared by all. Some people call these villains anti-paladins due to their complete evil nature. So instead of, because we talked about what do? Can you make something that's like a anti-paladin and just say that, hey, everything that has to do with a paladin's evil abilities or good abilities, you're just going to swap them. And I think that, I think that years and years ago, I would have probably tried to do something like that to mirror good and evil. But today, I think that it would be much more interesting to have asymmetric good and evil. So rather than having just a paladin of evil, do something else. So that the good and evil might be opposites, but that they're not just mirrors of one another. So the Blackguard has many options available to him, sending forth dark minions and servants to do his bidding, attacking and stealing with honorless guile, or straightforward smiting of the forces of good that stand in his way. Fighters, ex-paladins, rangers, monks, druids, and barbarians make for an indomitable, combat-oriented blackguards, while rogues and bards who become blackguards are likely to stress the subtle aspects of their abilities and spells. Sorcerers, wizards, and clerics who become blackguards are sometimes called diabolists and favor dealing with fiends even more than blackguards do. As NPCs, blackguards usually lead legions of undead, outsiders, or other monsters to conquer their own doomed domain or expand their existing territory. Sometimes they serve more powerful evil characters as dark lieutenants. On occasion, they operate alone as hired killers or wandering purveyors of evil. So that is so they have like detect good, poison use, dark blessing, spells, smite good. Once a day, a blackguard of second level or higher may attempt to smite good with one normal melee attack. Aura of despair, command undead, sneak attack, and they've got a spell list. Blackguards have access to a special spell, Corrupt Weapon, which is the opposing counterpart of the Paladin spell, Bless Weapon. See page 205 of the Player's Handbook. Instead of improving a weapon's effectiveness against forces of evil, Corrupt Weapon makes for a weapon more effective against good foes. Oh. So this does talk about fallen paladins here. Blackguard is an NPC for 5e, but not a particular class. Oh, I forgot Assassin was even in there. Wasn't there also Fallen Paladin prestige class at some point, or am I imagining this? Well, this does talk about Fallen Paladins right here. It says Blackguards who have levels in the Paladin class, that is to say they are now ex-Paladins, gain extra abilities the more levels of Paladin they have. Those who have tasted the light of goodness and justice and turned away from it make the foulest villains. A fallen paladin who has become a blackguard gains all of the following abilities that apply according to the number of paladin levels the character has. 1 to 2, smite good once per day. This is in addition to the ability granted by all blackguards at second level. 3 to 4 is lay on hands. Once per day, a blackguard can use the supernatural ability to cure himself or his fiendish servants of damage equal to his charisma bonus times his level. Sneak attack damage increases by 1d6. Smite good 2 times a day for 5 to 6. 7 to 8, fiendish summoning. Once per day, the blackguard can use summon monster 1 spell to call forth an evil creature. For this spell, the caster level is double the blackguard's class level. 9 to 10, undead companion. In addition to the fiendish servant, the blackguard gains at 5th level a medium-sized skeleton or zombie as a companion. These companions cannot be turned or rebuked and gain all special bonuses as a fiendish servant when the blackguard gains level. 11th or more, favored by the dark deities, evil deities like nothing more than to see a pure heart corrupted, and thus a fallen paladin of this stature immediately gains a blackguard level for each level of paladin that he trades in. For instance, a character who has 12 levels of Paladin can immediately become a 10th level Blackguard with all the abilities if he chooses to lose 10 levels of Paladin. Well, I didn't know you could do that. Like swap out levels for something else. Maybe that's just a Blackguard thing. I don't know. The character level of the character does not change. This is, of course, is a very way. This, of course, in every way a profitable trade for the evil character, since he's already lost most of the benefits he gained from having those Paladin levels. However, with the loss of Paladin levels, the character no longer gains as many extra abilities for being a fallen Paladin. Thus, a fallen 15th level Paladin could become a 10th level Blackguard, 5th level Paladin, and gain the first 3 extra abilities of this chart because of the character's remaining 5 Paladin levels. Smite good 4 times a day. They can also call forth a fiendish servant. So there we go. So Blackguard. Yeah, Assassin was over here. Assassin is a prestige class. So Blackguard dealt with kind of like evil paladins, but that was in the core books. That's why we didn't find that over here. Pathfinder First Edition had anti-paladin. It's like a paladin with slight differences. You get a demon servant instead of a horse, for instance. Lord Soth could be considered a Blackguard, I believe. Technically, he's undead, so he might more accurately called a Death Knight, but Blackguard fits too. Phoenix Rising says, I believe there was an evil paladin class. Not sure if it was for 3.5 or 4E. I typically ran Forgotten Realms setting, and I liked them better. Silver Phoenix Rising says, it does sound rather intriguing to play a Blackguard. And one way you could do it is by falling as a paladin. It might be an interesting character arc, especially if you could come back. So we were just looking at Thrall of Orcus. Priest. Priests despise gods. However, a small number of them have learned to tap into divine power and use it for their own needs without praying to or worshiping a god. Instead, each day they go into a trance and mentally steal the power that gods normally channel to devout clerics. Priests are canny and cunning, never stealing too much power from any one god, but instead metaphysically slipping in, drawing out the power they need for their spells, and slipping out again. They learn to be resilient toward divine power, and creative with the energies they steal. The greatest priest commands the level of power of the most powerful cleric, though she does not have the cleric's variety in spellcasting options. A member of any class can become an priest, even in fact and especially an ex-cleric. Priests frequently work alone, though they occasionally find partnerships with members of other classes useful. They do not congregate into anything resembling temples, for the fear that too many of them in one place might draw unwanted divine attention. And of course, they rarely associate with clerics or other divine spellcasters, whom they see as lackeys and who view them as abominations. The Vermin Lord. The skittering multiple legs across the floor, the droning of wings, these phenomena mark the passing of a Vermin Lord. This unthinkable entity prefers to caress the crawling legs of an insect or the fluttering wings of a fly more than touch another person. The Vermin Lord offers itself as a host for all manner of parasitic organisms and insects that feed on its body. It not only allows the infestation, it revels in it. Clerics and druids comprise the majority of Vermin Lord ranks. Some cleric rogues are present as well. Many monstrous Vermin Lords, such as Drider clerics, exist. Yeah, that looks disgusting. So, Warrior of Darkness, though. So, a Warrior of Darkness, sometimes called the Dark Knight, is a practitioner of black magic. He studies the dark arts and learns the terrible secrets involved with evil rituals and spells. However, he does not cast spells himself. Instead, he uses his arcane knowledge to make himself a more formidable combatant. Evil fighters, often those with a few levels of wizard or sorcerer, sometimes become warriors of darkness. Less frequently, warriors of darkness come from the ranks of single-class warriors, wizards and sorcerers, or bards, clerics, or even rangers. Warriors of darkness often keep to themselves, although they sometimes ally themselves with evil sorcerers or wizards. Other times, they employ small groups of evil humanoids such as orcs, gnolls, or bugbears to aid them and guard their dark sanctums. They dream of power and conquest through violence and bloodshed. A warrior of darkness is not usually subtle, nor is he barbaric. Instead, he is a chilling compromise of physical might and intelligent sophistication. Huh. So we thought that might have... That one really doesn't have anything to do with paladins. Black magic oil. A warrior of darkness can use his forbidden arcane art to create magic oil that he anoints himself with. An individual warrior of darkness makes oil that only works for him, so he can only make one dose of oil each time this class feature is gained. And I've got supernatural abilities that the oil grants. Darkling weapon. With 3 rounds of preparation involving rituals and alchemical substances that cost 50 gold coins, a warrior of darkness can imbue any weapon with a +1 enhancement bonus on attack and damage rolls. If the weapon is already an enchanted bonus, the warrior of darkness can instead imbue the weapon with any magical special quality that is equivalent of a +1 bonus. See the Dungeon Master's Guide. The bonus or special quality functions only when the weapon is in the hands of the warrior of darkness and lasts 1 hour per warrior of darkness level. Only one may be imbued at a time. Black magic elixir. At 3rd level, a warrior of darkness can use his knowledge of black magic and alchemy to create a magical elixir that he then imbibes. An individual warrior of darkness makes an elixir that works only on him. And he can make 1 dose of the elixir each time he gains this level. And you get, okay, so it's another like elixir, and you've got magic, like demon wings, okay, that you can get. Then we're progressing on into magic. Shadow of Vampire says, I think you should take a look at the Heroes of Horror. I don't know that one. Heroes of Horror RPG. Oh, so that is a 3rd edition book. Heroes of Horror provides everything players and dungeon masters need to play and run a horror-oriented campaign or integrate elements of creepiness and tension into their existing campaigns. Players can develop heroes or anti-heroes using new classes, new spells, new base classes and prestige classes, and magic items. This book presents new mechanics for a different type of horror, including rules for dread and tainted characters, as well as plenty of new horrific monsters and adventure seeds. Different types and genres of horror are discussed in detail. Well, that does sound interesting. Make a note of that. We've been working with different kinds of horror here on the channel. I didn't know that book existed, so that's interesting. Slight Quill says, Priest was an interesting one. I don't remember them being evil so much as drawing power from deities than drawing power from deities rather than being given them by worshiping. Wasn't True Necromancer a prestige class in this? Well, I didn't see it in this. Yeah. So, well, I guess the artwork could have been worse in many ways. Like the art of the book of erotic fantasy. The Warrior of Darkness sounds like a cross between a fighter and a barbarian. Yeah, I just saw that. So magic. We've been going for just about an hour here. Let's just see what else is in the book. So we've got magic spells here. We'll check some of those out. Okay. Maybe there's some good ones. Okay, a lot of this book is magic spells. So we'll check at that next. We got evil magic items coming up. Armor special abilities. Weapon special abilities. Wondrous items. Artifacts. And then Lords of Evil. Demons and Devils. And then evil monsters. So we do have a bestiary in here as well. Okay, so I think there's still a few more days worth of, or at least a couple of days worth of taking a look at the Book of Vile Darkness. It certainly has been interesting. Let's see. Kronos Kyron says, be nice if I could get some lads going in Petersburg, Ontario, where I live. They've got a huge place for gaming, for gamers right in town. Oh, nice. Well, okay, so yeah, I think it was. Actually, people talked about the Fiend Folio quite a bit. And especially, I believe, in second edition, some people were saying that how great the Fiend Folio was. So I do have the Fiend Folio because I got it in the same lot when I got third edition stuff. I think this Book of Vile Darkness and this came in this as well. So maybe we should take a look at the Fiend Folio at some point. But I think it is mainly another monster manual, right? So it's just an alphabetical listing of monsters. Yeah. So this is the third edition, 3.5. I'm not sure which, but the third edition Fiend Folio. So I think it is. Yeah, all different kinds of monsters, but apparently good ones because I have heard people say good things about it. Fiend Folio second edition is the one that I think I hear people talk about enjoying the most. Oh, disagree with the Fiend Folio assessment. James says, technically, the Book of Vile Darkness is an in-lore artifact. It's the book Vecna authored to deal with the absolute most evil thoughts any mortal could or have heard. Yeah, we did we did look at, there was a passage in this book that dealt with the Book of Vile Darkness as the artifact. So Seth says, the Book of Undead was where true necromancer was. I don't know that one either. Thank you, Stray. Please do hit the Ravenkeep Discord if you would like to be in there. I am changing things up there. I have been restructuring some of it and I'm continuing to restructure some of it over the next couple of days because there are some projects that I've decided to stop doing because I'm very excited about new opportunities and things that especially all of the AI stuff we've been looking at has generated. And so I'm changing things up because there are a lot of projects that I had going on that I thought needed to be done because they were intermediate kinds of projects between where I was and where I was actually trying to go with especially the world development and things like that. And that I just think are no longer relevant. So if a project is no longer relevant, don't keep it on the list of things to do just because it was on the list. Eliminate it and then we'll move forward. So I'm going to be changing things up in the Discord server. I'll be in there. I have been hooking up video feeds for those, for all the different worlds. I haven't done that for Unspeakable Tomes yet. I've got to do that. But the Tales of Rabavania, I saw Stray had posted links to the YouTube channel there. Theophany, the Black Cipher, so that if you are missing something or YouTube isn't giving you your notifications, you should see that things are posted when public videos on all the different channels go live. You should be able to see the feed in there. And so I'm going to test that out today because I've got a short for the Black Cipher coming out today. I'd made 10 of those and I want to make sure that posts to the Black Cipher Discord server, Discord channel appropriately. So we will see. The Libris Mortis would be interesting to cover. Yeah, the Book of Undead is third edition. Book of Undead is third edition AEG. Oh, an AEG book. Okay. The Libris Mortis. Let me make note of that one as well. God, I don't remember that book either. The Book of Undead is a book which is an official supplement for 3.5. Well, let me make note. Put that over here. I thought we played a lot of third edition, but I don't remember some of those. Maybe I had already left for college where some of these had come out. Like, when was this published? Oh, so that one did come out when I was in college, so I might not have been playing quite as regularly at that point. Maybe that explains that. Speaking of projects, Zero the Blade says, "Oh, you joined? Oh, welcome. Good to see you, George. I'm glad to have you in the Discord server." Zero the Blade says, "Speaking of projects, I can now challenge the mountain of writing the starter draft of my tabletop RPG." Yep, it is a mountain. Yeah, we got C. I don't know anything about that. Oh, okay. So I didn't know this. I don't know what that's about. So if you are looking for something about something being blocked in YouTube being blocked in Canada, Slight Will says, "Oh, the Libris Mortis is very good too." So there were all kinds of great books from especially earlier editions, right? AEG did wonderful work in third edition. If you want to have some of their, if you don't have some of their stuff from AEG, I really don't. Zero Theory says, "A question about these Black Cipher shorts. Is the voice audio quality only supposed to be in one ear?" No, it's not. It's only coming through in one ear. Well, I'll test that. That's why I was testing things at, that's why I was testing things with the Black Cipher. So you're only hearing it in one ear. I wonder why that happens. So maybe that means that I need to I'm using DaVinci Resolve to edit those. So I need to make sure that it comes over. It's like so maybe it's in stereo, but only going out through one track, and I need to double that over. It's about news and linking. It's stereo for you. Okay. I sometimes I forget to, it's mono audio somehow. Okay. I'll listen to it with my headphones on and see, because I was about to do another round of 10 because I found out some different ways to, or I was thinking of new ways to improve those. So I want to do another round of 10 before I start moving on to Theophany. So I will read those. Oh, you hear it in both ears? I'm confused. Okay, so I will read it somehow. So you get music in both ears, but the voice is only coming through the left for me. Okay. Okay, I will check that out. Thank you very much for letting me know, because it could be that, well, it could be that I need to swap something over. That's why I was running the test. See, launch before you're ready, because I was like, I don't want to do something for Theophany and Rabavania yet, because I haven't got my procedure down yet. So I'm trying to get my procedure down. So I will see. I will definitely investigate that before I make some more. So the ones that come out today have already been today and probably tomorrow. I think we're already designed. So we'll just have to see. But when I do some more, I will definitely take that into consideration and figure that out. And also, before tonight's live stream, I want to see if I'm still having some kind of problem with the audio and the video feed being out of sync when I'm doing the Crafter's Corner. People had brought that up 2 nights ago. People brought it up again last night. I'm going to do some testing offline and just recording and seeing if I see that problem, or if I can fix it, or if it is something that has to do with YouTube and going beyond the stuff I have control over. But all right. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your being here. I hope that everyone goes on to be productive and creative for the rest of the day. I will see you tonight for the Crafter's Corner while we paint up some more stuff. So if you've got miniatures to paint or models to build or costumes to make or whatever, we'll be working on that tonight, 7:30 Central. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. So everybody grind on.